Hey friends, we just checked into the DoubleTree Hotel, so I'm gonna give you guys a quick room tour of our room. We're in a king suite, and actually last night we were in a queen suite. So I'll give you guys some overall thoughts and reviews after I show you the room, but this is a king room. The queen is set up very similar. The only difference is that there are obviously 2 beds in the bedroom as opposed to 1. So let's take a look at the room. Before we do, I just want to say hi. My name is Corina. I'm a wife and mama to 2 kiddos, and we love visiting Disneyland in California, bringing you guys along on all of our family adventures and sharing with you and sharing the magic with you. So let's take a look at this room. If you guys have been following us for any length of time, you probably already know we usually stay in condo units here in Anaheim when we visit. It's a really easy way for us to stay. And however, recently we have been staying in some hotels and had some opportunities to stay in them. So it's been kind of fun checking out the hotels in the area and sharing my thoughts and opinions with you guys, and also sharing just some real life family details that you might need to know if you have a family like I do. My kiddos are currently 7 and 4, and it's myself, my husband, and my 2 kids on this trip. So let's take a look at the room. Alright guys, I'm standing right in front of the door right now, but I'm going to spin you around so you can see the living room area. So what is great about this hotel is that these are all suites. So here, as soon as you enter, you do have this really great little living room space. So we've got a little console table here, tons of little spaces to set your things. We do have a couch. This is a sleeper sofa. So the room sleeps, I'm guessing 5 technically, maybe 4 according to their website. We do have 4 here with us tonight. And then we also do have a nice chair here on the side. This was actually kind of in front of the window when we first walked in, but my husband just moved it in front of the door. There's a connecting door to the room next door. So if you have traveling with family, you can always get connecting rooms. There's also this nice spacious mirror above the sofa. It gives it a nice living room feel at home. And then we do have a TV in here on this console with some drawers, so some good storage for whoever is in the, maybe sleeping on the sofa. As far as amenities, you do have this cute little coffee maker, this little like single serve guy. There's plenty of, there's a couple cups. Looks like they probably need to refill our sugar and things like that, but our coffee and tea is pretty stocked there. They do also have some waters that you can purchase. This is a Hilton property, so if you are a Hilton member, you do get some perks and rewards and things like that. There's also in the room a microwave and a mini fridge. This is great for us. We always bring waters and sodas. I usually buy Uncrustables. Sometimes I'll get like string cheese and maybe yogurt. I also got some milk. So we always bring some things that we can have on hand, and that helps us to kind of save on our budget a little bit. There are a couple of glasses here and a little ice bucket as well. So that is the living room, and then we're gonna go into the bedroom here. This bedroom is really spacious. That was like the first thing we noticed when we came in. There's this nice desk here to the side. So there's a great desk over here with a chair, so if you have to do some work, you can totally do that. Be a really nice place for like a work trip if you needed it for that. So we do have a TV with another console just like in the living room. And then we do have our hamper here. As you guys can see around the room, there's plenty of space to store like your luggage, your strollers, whatever you would need to kind of put in different corners. You could totally do that. I think this would fit several pieces of like full-size luggage just in this corner. And then I have our full-size luggage laid out right here. There's another little pocket right in this area where we put our shoes. So lots of little like storagey pockets, which I like. On this side of the bedroom, there is a closet, and there are some hangers in here. I love that it's also a mirror. Hello, somebody. There's a good amount of hangers in here. There's about 5, another 5 on the other side, so about 10. You do also get a luggage rack, which I know some hotels don't provide that, which it's nice. If you can't bend over or don't want to bend over for your luggage, nice to have that. There's also an ironing board and an iron in the closet, some extra linens. We always use the extra blanket and pillows in our room, so I always love seeing that. And there's also a safe down here. All right, so going to the bed, like I said, this is a king size bed, so on either side we do have a nightstand. Nice large king bed. The beds were very comfortable. We had a great night's sleep last night, so I'm sure it's gonna be the same as this night. And then here we go. Oh no, oh there we go. Okay. So the lamp had a little bit of a delay, but same lamp as the other side and same nightstand. So again, 2 outlets in the lamp, which is so great. There's also really great blackout shades here. So these did a fabulous job of blocking out the light for us this morning. We did sleep in a little because we got in very, very late. So that was a really big plus. All right, guys, the bathroom for this unit is over here, right when you come into the bedroom, which, you know, is not my favorite, but I understand for this size space, they could definitely have gotten away with like pushing this main door back to this area a little bit and done a door like from this wall to this wall. But that's just the interior designer in me coming out, so just take that with a grain of salt. But the bathroom is kind of contained within the bedroom. For us, as a family of 4, it's not a big deal. If you're traveling with extended family, maybe becomes a big deal. I think it is worth noting that this was not the setup for the queen room. So the queen room, the bathroom was connected to the living room area, and the sink was actually outside of the room that had the toilet and tub shower combo in it. So I think that's an important detail to know, because the king rooms are usually set up for like couples or like a really small family traveling together. So sometimes the bathroom contained in the bedroom is pretty standard for a king room. If you have the 2 queen, it's a different story. So I think it's kind of assumed that a 2 queen would have either a larger family, extended family, friends, etc., etc. So kind of a different combination of travelers. And so I think they bear that in mind with the arrangement of the bathroom. So just know that going into it. If you're getting a 2 queen, a little bit of different setup for the bathroom, which is nice. Okay, back to the bathroom. There's a hook on the back of the door and a rail for 2 towels here. And then I love these like fluffy white shower curtains. So just a nice tub shower combo here. You do have amenities on the wall and some storage, which I love to see the high and the low option, so we don't have to bend over every time we need something from our toiletries in the shower. It's a really nice option. You do also have a couple of little like mats there for your feet so you don't get water everywhere. Of course, your toilet, some extra toilet paper. This toilet paper holder is a little far for our 4-year-old to reach, so we need to help her a little bit with that. So just know that. I think in the 2 queen room, there wasn't a problem with that. It was close enough, so just varies by location really. And then your vanity is really nice. This is actually the same vanity setup that was in the queen room, but again, the vanity was outside of the actual bathroom. So that was kind of nice. My husband showered this morning while I got ready at the vanity. So that gives you a little more flexibility than this does per se, but this is still totally workable. There's a lot of storage on the side, so you see extra towels, hair dryer, and an empty shelf on the bottom there. And then the other side, more towels, hand towels, washcloths, and a like tub mat as well. This centerpiece does not open, so do know that. We do bring our own stool for our little, so it helps her to be able to access the sink easier and be more independent like she is at home. And then our toiletries, we do have lotion here on the wall. You've got some tissues and a shower cap. Nice big vanity. I love a large vanity to lay out all of my packing cubes everywhere. And then some soap. We always bring some wipes with us and a couple hand towels and washcloth. Okay friends, that is the full tour of the DoubleTree Suites in Anaheim. This is the king bedroom, king suite. So let me just give you guys a couple of little things that I do want to share and my overall thoughts as far as if I would recommend this for families. Number 1, I would recommend it with a caveat. It is further from the parks than is probably ideal. We did walk to the Toy Story parking lot, which is about a block down and then just like across the intersection. So it is a little bit far. I think if you're doing like a short trip like we are, it's probably feasible because you could either drive to the park and park there, or you could do the Toy Story shuttle. The distance of it does deter me from going back to the room for like an afternoon break and then going back to the parks later. But that's just me. I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to needing to walk back to the room and then go all the way back later. It takes a long time to actually like do all of that for me with my littles in tow. My husband, I think, is not of that opinion. Like, he is happy to do that and go back and forth. He could also just stay in the parks the whole day and be fine. But just personally, I hesitate to do that. Just, it's a little bit far for me. But it's great, I think, if you need some extra space, if you like having, you know, the microwave, the little fridge, and some of these kind of like larger spaces is really nice. And it's also pretty budget friendly. Our night last night for the 2-queen room on a Thursday to a Friday was $130 for the room total. Parking here is $33 a night currently, so do bear that in mind as well. You do have to pay for parking pretty much everywhere at this point, especially here in Anaheim. So, but overall, I would definitely recommend this hotel for your family for your next stay at Disneyland. I hope this has been helpful, and let me know in a comment down below your favorite feature of the room or the hotel itself. And I will see you next time. Thanks for hanging out with me, friends. Bye!